sun belongs to you and should surround you. Yet when I turn to look, I see they've snatched the sun from all around you. Why you hardly seem to want what's yours, you hardly seem to care. If you love the sun, it's where you come from, then you had better dare to seize the time. The time is now, oh seize the time, and you know how. You tell me that the soul is real and your soul must survive. Yet I see they've taken liberties with your souls and your lives. Don't tell me that you lack concern for all that you must be, 'cause I know you must not be turned, and I know that you can see to seize the time. The time is now, oh seize the time, you know how. You worry about liberty because you've been denied. Well, I think that you're mistaken, or then you must have lied. 'Cause you do not act like those who care. You've never even fought for the liberty that you claim to lack. Or have you never fought to seize the time? The time is now, oh seize the time, you know how.
Hey, Norm, let me tell you something. First of all, I think this word that you're using, exploitation, is bullshit. There are other words and better words, you know, like discipline. Because what you call exploitation, I call the need to put together an effort where you're going to do something, where the group is going to do something, whether they're going to turn out a product or a service, or they're just going to go through a dance, but they're going to work together. If you want to call it exploitation, that's fine. I know that there's a cause. I know there's something here that burns your back. I know that you feel that the society that exists is resentful to you, but making it burn and pulling it down doesn't give you anything to build up from. It seems to me that if you would only change the definition of a few words, that you could have the same thing that you want, and instead of getting the hair up on the backs of people, you'd get a little more cooperation and a hell of a lot of less back talk. Now, that is how I see it. And to me, it's a matter of terms, not a matter of goals. The goal, I feel, is the same. We all want to see a certain amount of discipline, of decency, a certain amount of security, a certain amount of community pride. But when you come in and you say, look, what has gone before us, we want to do away with, and this is going to be the new you, forget it, man. We're not going to take you in. We're not going to embrace you. We're not going to tell you that we've been waiting for you. It's a question of adjustment to the status quo, of moving in and getting us to work with you. You can't expect us to become chaotic because all of a sudden you're yelling, burn, baby, burn. That's how I see it.
You know, Norman, there's another problem, too, and that is that the populations have grown to such a great extent that we have created our own morass, almost.
I sit at that table and I tried. We sat there and we talked, and I said things, you know, I tried to explain to you that this society tolerates the kinds of things, violence on TV, on radio. We got it at 6 o'clock, you can watch the movies. Vietnam, here it comes, 6:30 till 7:30.
What the hell has this got to do with the situation you are discussing?
What has this got to do with it?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
What do you mean? This has to do with...
What is this, a black specialty, the Vietnam War?
You tolerate, along with everybody else, all of the death, you know, of the people in Vietnam. You also tolerate the death of the people in the ghettos because the cops do exactly the same thing. We got a civil militia here in this country, the police. The police is the civil militia. You got the same thing over in Vietnam. You take people and you take them over there. You know, take the young kids. They're cops. That's all they are. The same idea. Cops over there, cops here. They do the same thing over there that they do here. And the only way to deal with those kind of people is violence with violence. And so, you know, just get rid of them altogether.
Are you trying to convince him that when you come to shoot him, he's supposed to just stand there?
Or
is he supposed to shoot back? You know, what do you expect?
He can do whatever he wishes to do. What I'm trying to convince him of is that I will be here to shoot him. There is no doubt about it, that I will be here. That's all. Because I don't think he really believes that I will be. I don't think he believes that the masses of black people have gotten to the point where they will be. I don't think he understands that not only are the masses of black people going to do it, but his kids are going to do it. I lived in a ghetto all my life until I was like 23 years old, and you know, I was always afraid of cops because cops were always white, and black and white cops did not understand, and the only thing that white cops understood was to beat you on your head until you understood that they were authority. And if that's what authority means, then I don't want to have any part with that kind of authority. I want to get rid of that kind of authority, those cops and those people behind those cops too.
I see myself being shot at from both sides.
Joe, but I don't think you really see yourself being shot at yet. I think what you see is that maybe some black people may think about shooting at you, but they probably won't get this far.
No, I see the black people at one end of the alley and the white people at the other end of the alley.
I don't think you believe that. If you
one of them, you know, are calling me grays, and the other one are calling me nigger lovers, and where the hell am I?
No, I don't think, if I thought you really believed it, or if you really believe that, you'd have to do something, because you'd see that your life is in danger. I'm saying to you that you really don't feel threatened at all. And that's the problem, because you don't feel threatened. And I'm trying to explain to you that you are threatened.
Norm, you want to call this revolution? It's not so tough, Norm. Really, it isn't. All you have to do is put out a few bucks, let them get on their status symbols. Suddenly they got something to worry about, something to take care of, and you got it cool, just like putting oil on water. Down it goes.
Yeah, but you can only buy off like 90% of revolutionaries that way. What do you do about the other 10%?
Don't worry about the other 10%, Norman. History is taking care of the other 10%. They call it concentration camps, they call it barbed wire. Norman, the other 10% nicely put out of the way.
Yeah, now that's democracy, right? Yeah. Bang, bang, bang.
The Lucky Discount Supermarket right now in Los Angeles. Doing a thing called Shake a Lady.
There's a river waiting for me there. Oh, yeah. There's a river, now, girl, waiting for me. Oh, yeah. If you don't come back, girl,
now and let us solve all your auto insurance problems at Seymour Rose.
I know I was wrong, baby. But I know, no, girl, ooh, I was wrong. Oh, yeah. When I walked on you, girl, left you at home.
Because the American people should continue to know what's going on.
Just keep it up, kid.
That's all right, I'm a little person.
You're a little person? Just trying to keep it clean.
It's the same colors, basically. You know
One what? I got one. I got several of that shit.
Well, you need another one. You need a new one. Get one from
That
L.A.
shit, yeah.
L.A. L.A. that shit. Take back into the folks. This is what they're wearing. L.A. What do you think?
Yeah.
It looks nice. Huh?
Got one.
I think I could do a whole thing with this.
Let's see what I do.
I did a lot of things. Oh, no, this is nice.
Yeah, that's it.
This is really nice.
That's, you know what? This looks better than it does right now. That's probably good.
That's it.
Maru?
Well, I didn't understand, but it's so in tune with you.
Yes.
All right, Norman, we're going to attach the various components to you now. First thing I would like you to do, just pick both arms up over the chain and forward slightly. All right, what I'd like you to do now is open up your shirt the sleeve here, and just push your sleeve up. Don't roll it up. Palm to the ceiling. Now, I'm sure you've had your blood pressure taken before. You'll have no feeling from the GSR clips, other than perhaps your own pulse beating against the plate.
Mr. Brown, we're the people that do the pre-employment screening for the company to which you're applying for a job. Now, polygraph, more specifically, is commonly referred to as a lie detector. You're probably thinking in terms of crime and things of that nature, but that's not what its purpose is here. We use the lie detector, or polygraph as we prefer to call it here, for the purpose of finding out, A, your permanency intentions with your employer, B, your fitness for the particular job that you're seeking, and C, whether you've answered all the questions on your employment application truthfully.
You're going to feel it getting snug on your own. All right, Norman, we're all set to begin.
And whether or not you intend to make this job a career so that our client will not waste his time and money in developing you.
Are you holding back information about a past or present use of an alias or an incorrect name?
Nope.
Are you holding back information about the correct date of your birth?
No.
Are you holding back information about the address where you presently live?
No.
A polygraph to us in this business is not any sort of a god. It is a tool. A tool that we use for the purposes of aiding us in investigation. The final determination still has to be made by an individual. The polygraph does not make the determination.
Are you holding back information about the actual amount of your education or training?
No.
Are you holding back information about an occasion when you illegally used narcotics?
No.
Are you holding back information about a past or a present physical ailment or injury?
No.
Are you holding back information about a past or a present mental ailment?
No.
We are like doctors, like psychologists, like other gentlemen in like professions. Our main interest in the final analysis is to serve the clients that we work for and to protect business in every way that we possibly can. And if it means that we have to use a polygraph, or if it means we have to use a radio or a doctor to give you a physical examination with a fluoroscope, these are the tools that we will use. And that's all they are tools.
Are you holding back information about a full-time job that you've held in the past and deliberately did not tell me about?
No.
Are you holding back information about a job that you were fired from or were asked to leave?
No.
Are you holding back information about a theft from a former employer?
No.
Are you holding back information about a time that you have been arrested, questioned by the police, confined to jail, or court-martialed?
No.
Do you recognize the fact that the Communist Party is recognized as being an agency of a foreign government devoted to the purpose of overthrowing our government by force. Do you recognize that to be true, or do you challenge that statement?
Well, I know that's what I'm told is to be true.
I didn't ask you if that's what you were
Yeah.
told. I asked you if you know
Do I
this to be
believe
true.
that that's
Do you believe
true?
that? Yes.
No, I don't know if that's true. No, I'm not positive that that's true.
If I said to you that I believe it's true, and that I did not want anybody working for me who did not believe as I believe, could you accept that?
Are you holding back information about sympathy on or toward or behalf of a subversive cause?
No.
All right, I'm going to release the pressure now. You're going to feel the pressure slide out of it, be removed from that cup. Just relax and don't move until after the test is over, until I take it.
Let's assume, for the sake of argument, we give you the job of buyer. We put you to work. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, we enter into a government contract. And you now have to deal with a security-rated firm. And the government refuses to give us clearance because one of our employees might be a member of the Communist Party or a fellow traveler. That's how it affects us, and that's how it affects you.
No, I answered the question. I'm not a member of the Communist Party, okay?
Yeah, but
I just don't see the connection, you see. That's all. That's why
I
why
just
asked.
gave you the connection.
Yeah.
Do you see it now?
Is that the only case where it would be applicable, though?
Well, it would be applicable in several cases. You asked me how it particularly relates to you, and I would like to confine our comments and our discussions to that which relates to you as an individual. I don't want to philosophize or go into other areas, you see, because I don't think that would be fair. You asked how this question related to you applying for a specific position in a company. Okay? I gave you the answer. Are you satisfied with that answer?
Yeah.
I asked you again something before that. I do want you to be honest and frank with me, because what we're doing here is for you, not for me. You're the individual who hopes to attain a new position. You're going to this position because you feel it's a lucrative position, because you feel perhaps your future lies here. Now, I want you to be as honest and as straightforward with me as you possibly can, because let's face it also. If you were going to sit here and not be truthful with me under these auspices, with a polygraph sitting here in front of me, how do we trust you working at a job?
Do you really think that's that important?
Yes, I really do believe it's important.
Your natural objection or aversion to polygraph may be because of the fact that, like most of us, you have a skeleton in your closet. None of us is perfect. All of us have something in our backgrounds, something that we've done or something that we've thought at one time or another that we're not particularly proud of. Now, on the other hand, you might feel that, well, why should I have to prove myself to anyone? Well, again, you've already done that by telling me here that you've worked for the XYZ company for a certain amount of years and the Sykes and Hennessy company for a certain... You've done exactly the same thing. So therefore, you really are selling yourself after all. The polygraph is just going to help you put across your sales pitch.
Are you holding back information? Are you holding back information about a full-time job that you've held in the past? You're not telling me about information about a theft from a former employer. Are you holding back information about a time that the jail or court? Are you holding back information about an undetected crime?
Yes, he paid anyone past the eyes of my life, and he nodded and sang without sound, and his face had the look of a man who knew strife and a feeling familiarly came round. I said, man, freedom and things. And he told me about what he dreamed. And I knew of that dream long before he had spoke, and a feeling familiarly came around. I said, man, where have you been all these years? Man, where were you when I sought you? And you know me as I know you. Man, am I coming through? Man, am I coming through?
What's happening, bruh? It's one of those days, huh? Now they say, go back to the ghetto. Back to the ghetto. Hell, it took me 25 years to get out of there. How the hell am I supposed to be going back to some ghetto? Go back to the rats and the roaches? Would you go back? Would you go back there, man? Hey, man, you listening? Would you go back to the rats and the roaches? So it took, you know what it took me to just put this shirt on my back, to get the shoes I got on my feet, man. Every time I go in my apartment, man, I feel guilty when I go in my apartment, man. I can't go in my apartment. I can't look at myself in the mirror because I feel guilty about those people who tell me I gotta go back to the ghetto, man. Well, actually, they don't say you gotta go back, but man, you know that you gotta go back, bruh. See, because it's the way they look at you when you walk down the street, man. The way they check out your clothes, the way the sacrifices that they make. You know you gotta go back, and that's right. You gotta go back. They're right, man. You gotta go back. And you feel guilty all the time, man. All the time you feel guilty. How the hell do you think I feel when I'm black? You know, I'm black, and I see all these black people going around talking, knowing the right things, and I know the right thing too, baby. I know the right thing, and I've been saying the right thing, but they act, baby. They do the right things. They go to jail, they put their lives on the line, some of them die every day, and here I am. I know all the right things. I got the education, I got all of this shit, and I don't do anything, man. I ain't even got the guts to do nothing, baby. Do you understand? Listen, man, are you listening to me? Just listen to me. Oh,
I'm Dan Saunders, Sheriff at Stanton, Texas. I firmly believe, I'm a man of nonviolence, but I think every man has a right, not only a right, but an obligation to protect his family and to protect his home. And I think it resorts back to biblical times. We must protect them. And even in these times, it's getting more where we have to resort to personal protection rather than depending so much on the police, because our hands are tied now in some respects. So I think we're going to have to resort to violence, not to violence, but to self-protection. And I think every man should own a pistol. If someone breaks in your home and tries to kill you or molest your wife, I'd have no hesitancy whatever in shooting a man. And I have done it, and I would do it again.
And what is the Klan planning on doing if this violence comes? The Klan takes this stand. As long as the law enforcement officers of any section of this country can retain the violence to the Negro neighborhoods or to the neighborhoods creating or starting such violence, the Klan will naturally stay out of it. But in the event that violence breaks out into the white neighborhoods, the Klan will go to the aid and rescue of the white people.
The only good nigger is a dead nigger.
We are the people! 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 They can no longer intimidate the people of the third world. They can no longer intimidate the people of the electric age. You don't need a long explanation to tell you that a pig is a pig. A pig today is tomorrow's bacon, if you dig it. They cannot afford to intimidate us to the extent that this mighty edifice, you dig, that they have raised from the ground that represents this decadent society will be embarrassed in the eyes of the world. But in order to gain our just and legitimate demands, we will make an ass out of every pig until we can realize self-determination for everyone. Not just one, but for everyone. Speaking of justice and violence and revolution, whether you like it or not, you are in a revolution. Whether it pleases your fancy, if it offends your sensibilities, you're going to have to live with it. There is no accident that change is happening here and now. The will of the people has spoken. They say no longer are we afraid of going hungry because this nation has food for everyone. No longer do you have to be afraid of intimidation because you are the people. Power to the people! 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 Power to the people!
Sit up here, honey, because Daddy's got something that he wants to tell you, okay? Look, lots of times you don't get things that you need to know in school. So Daddy brought you here, and he's going to tell you one of the very important things, okay? Okay. Now, what is this, honey?
A big man.
Right, that's right. He's a big man. But he is a big, giant man, okay? A giant monster man, all right? And these are monsters, okay? This is the United States, okay? He is a big, bloody monster with long arms, and he reaches all the way over to South America, and he goes all the way over to Africa, and he goes to Greece, and in North Vietnam, and in Europe, and he pulls people in, and he squeezes them, and he
pulls people in and he makes them hungry and he lies and he cheats and he kills. You hear me? He kills, honey. That monster kills, okay? I'll bet you think that Columbus discovered America, Askia. Right? Now, Askia, that's not true. That monster told that lie. That monster told it. Columbus did not discover America, Askia. Weren't the Indians here when Columbus came, honey? Right? So how could Columbus have discovered America, huh? He couldn't have. That's just like saying that you and I walk into this place and we walk in and we say, we discovered this place. And we couldn't have discovered the place because the puppets were here already when we came, right? That means that we didn't discover it. Is that right? That's right. Okay. Now, Columbus went back and he got his people and he brought them over to America, and they came and they brought their civilization to the Indians. They gave their civilization to the Indians, honey. And their civilization were guns, Askia. They had guns, and they killed the Indians, honey. They shut them down, slaughtered them, and all the Indians that were left, they took them and they put them in concentration camps, Askia. They call them reservations. They're not reservations. They are prisons, just like ghettos today. That's what they are, prisons. It's just like somebody coming into our house, and they take you and me and mommy, and they make us live in the closet, and they live in the rest of the house. That's what that monster taught the people. They took all the land from the Indians, and they put the Indians in just a little spot. And then they went to Africa, and they took all the Africans, and they brought them here, and they brought them in chains and yokes around their neck, and they had chains on their legs, and they put them on stands, and they beat them, and they sold them like animals. Like animals, Saskia. That big, bloody, lying, cheating monster did. Now, Askia, you remember one day, you came in the house crying because some little boy called you a nigger. That's why I brought you here, because I want you to know that there is more than one kind of niggers. Malcolm X said that there are two kinds of niggers, honey. There's a house nigger and there's a field nigger. Now, a house nigger, Askia. A house nigger, he has a hat on, and he has a coat, and he's fine, and he's healthy, and he loves that monster, that bloody, lying, cheating monster. The house Negro does. And he says, I love you, monster. And the monster says, I got some food, crap on my plate that I don't want. Here, you take it. The house nigga says, oh, thank you, master, thank you, master. And the master said, this coat's got a hole in it. I don't think I want it. Maybe I use it for firewood. It's out of style anyhow. Here, you want it, boy? And the house nigga says, oh, thank you, master. Thank you, monster. Thank you. And if the monster's house starts burning, you know what that house nigga does? He takes his hat off, honey, and his coat, and he goes in, and he just throws water on the fire. He tries to put that fire out because he wants that monster to survive. That lying, cheating, stealing, killing monster, honey. That monster. And that monster sends him to go and spy on the rest of the niggers. He sends that house nigger. But the rest of the niggers, Askia, the rest of the niggers are field niggers, and those are the smart niggers. That's the kind of nigger you and I have to be, okay, honey? Field niggers. The field niggers are intelligent, and they are in the majority, Askia, and they hate that monster. They hate that lying, cheating, stealing monster. And if that monster's house starts burning down, they go around and they hide and they wait until he can't see, and they just blow in that fire because they want that fire to just burn that house right down, baby. Burn it down. Now that's a field nigger. Now you and I have to be field niggers who are intelligent, who hate that monster. If you ever see Daddy becoming an Uncle Tom, Askia, you have to pick up a gun and you have to shoot him. Do you understand? You have to shoot him, because if you don't shoot him, Daddy will take you and he'll give you to that monster, honey. Now, Askia, pick up the gun, Askia. This is our house. This is our country. These are our astronauts. And this is our wall.
Daddy, I know I'm black and beautiful. I know all that stuff. You always talk. You never do anything but talk. I really do think you're a house nigger. Only we'll have to shoot you.
Help me get out of this?
Where are you from? Oh, I see. It's a straitjacket. Brilliant observation.
Yeah, turn around. Could you help me get out of it?
Turn around, please.
What are you in it for? What am I in it for? What do you mean, what am I in it for?
Well, that's a good question.
Well, you're in one. You're in one.
No, I don't have
You're in a straitjacket. What do you mean you don't have one? I got a tailor-made one, that's all. You got one, too.
Ours isn't tailor-made, that's all.
Oh, yours, yeah, but it's tailor-made. It's made. It's up in your head. Straitjacket.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, you want us to help you get it out of it?
Yeah, not this one. I like this one. This one I had made for me.
Oh, it
I'm
keeps
talking
you
about
warm.
the straitjacket. Yeah, I got a tailor-made. I got it. It's brand new. I'm talking about the straitjacket up there.
Where'd you get yours?
All these people in a straitjacket, and they don't even know it.
Well, you like that one.
See,
you like
look,
it.
look,
Hey, way to go.
look.
Nice dance.
See that? See that? A straitjacket. And nobody noticed.
It's a straight.
Anybody notice?
You're right. I didn't notice.
Nobody noticed. I want to get out. I want you to tell me how to get out. You people have answers. No, can you get out of the one you're in?
Cue card.
Can you get out of that straitjacket you're in?
Which straitjacket?
The one in your head. That's a straitjacket.
Oh, is it?
It really is a straitjacket.
You want to get out of that? I'll be glad to help you.
No, not this one. The other one.
okay.
The other one. The one that has us all tied up. That's the straitjacket I want to get out of.
Glad to let you out of that one if you'd like to.
Listen, I like this one. I had it specially made for me. This
keep your
jacket
hands
cost
warm.
me $65. Look at that. It's tailor-made for me. My straitjacket. But I'm not worried about this one. I'm worried about the other one. You know which other one I'm talking about, right?
Tell me more.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Tell
Do
me
you
more.
understand? You don't understand the straitjacket?
Tell me more.
What's the system? Yeah, oh. See that? They really listen. They really listen.
Excuse me. Just a second, please.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering if you could help me. Can you tell me if there are any books that can really tell me how to get out of this thing?
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I can understand, certainly, because I've got more or less the same problem.
Mm.
Now, I've done a lot of reading about this.
Yeah.
And there's very little I could do for you.
Thank you.
But let me ask you something. Have you read Malcolm X?
Yes.
Robert Williams?
Yes.
Chairman Mao's Red Book?
Yes.
Have you studied Karl Marx? Read Soul on Ice?
Yes.
Che Guevara Speaks?
Yes.
Regia Debray, Revolution in the Revolution?
Yes.
Have you read Marcuse?
Yes.
Have you seen all of Jean-Luc Godard's movies?
Yeah, some of them twice.
Do you dig Bobby Seale?
Yeah.
Huey P. Newton?
Yeah.
El Fatah?
Mm-hmm.
Ho Chi Minh?
Yes.
Walt Disney?
Now you're putting me on.
Listen, man, from what you say, you don't believe in the American dream and in the rhetoric of the self-made man anymore. You are a revolutionary nationalist. There aren't any books for you here.
Okay. Thank you.
A long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. The Declaration of Independence of the United States of America, 1776.
Huey P. Newton says we don't believe that African culture will automatically bring political freedom. We believe that culture itself will not liberate us. Cultural nationalism or pork chop nationalism is basically a problem of having the wrong political perspective.
Concerning nonviolence, Malcolm X said, "It is criminal to teach a man not to defend himself when he is the constant victim of brutal attacks. It is legal and lawful to own a shotgun or a rifle. We believe in obeying the law. We should be peaceful, law-abiding. But the time has come for the American Negro to fight back in self-defense whenever and wherever he is unjustly and unlawfully attacked."
Huey P. Newton says there is a world of difference between 30 million unarmed, submissive black people, and 30 million black people armed with freedom and defense, guns, and the strategic methods of liberation.
When a mechanic wants to fix a broken-down car engine, he must have the necessary tools to do the job. When the people move for liberation, they must have the basic tool of liberation, the gun.
Chairman Mao Zedong teaches us that political power grows out of the barrel of a gun.
Che Guevara said, "I believe in armed struggle as the only solution for those peoples who fight to free themselves, and I am consistent with my beliefs. Many will call me an adventurer, and that I am, only one of a different sort, one of those who risks his skin to prove his truths."
Have you ever stood in the darkness of night, screaming silently, you're a man? Have you ever hoped that a time would come when your voice could be heard in a noonday sun? Have you waited so long till your unheard song has stripped away your very soul? Well, then believe it, my friend, that the silence can end. We'll just have to get guns and be men. Have cried to live when your brain is dead, made your body tremble so, and have unseen chains of too many years hurt you so bad till you can't shed tears. Have so many vows from so many mouths made you know that words are just words. Well, then believe it, my friend, that the silence can end. We'll just have to get guns and be men. You know that dignity, not just equality, is what makes a man a man. And so you laugh at laws passed by a silly lot that tell you to give thanks for what you already got. And you can't go on with this time-worn song that just won't change the way you feel. Well, then believe it, my friend, that the silence can end. We'll just have to get guns and be men. You don't want to think, you just want to drink both the sweet wine and the gall. You've been burning inside for so long a while, till your old-time grin is now a praise man's smile, and the goal's so clear, and the time is so near. You'll make it, or you'll break the plow. Well, then believe it, my friend, that the silence can end. We'll just have to get guns and be men. Yes, it's time you know who you really are, and not try whitewash the truth. You're a man, you see, and a man must be whatever he'll be, or he won't be free. If he's bound up tight, he'll hold back the night, and there won't be no light for day. So you believe it, my friend, that this silence can end. We'll just have to get guns and be men.
When I first heard of the Panthers, I was afraid. You know, I belong to BSU out of East LA. I'm an off-campus member. I belong to the Black Student Alliance, so I guess I belong to just about everything that's black, really, you know. And I would like to say that, and when I first came up here the first 2 or 3 times, the reason I come up here so much, I want to know what I'm getting into before I join the Panthers, you know. I feel like I'm ready, you know, but I've got to know that I'm going to be strong enough to stick once I get there. You know, I don't want to be one of those people that slide in and slide out. You know, I come up here because I want to know. You know, I want to be educated.
And they're not teaching them what they want to learn. They want to learn what's going on every day, not about that cherry tree biz again, you know. They're sick of that. I mean, you understand? Can you understand what I'm saying? Well, this is what, I mean, I don't know exactly what they want, but I do know they want something that's going on every day. not that back
We want to
stuff.
know our role. You know, the Black Panther Party, we have number 5 on our 10-point program. It says that we want an education that not only teaches us our history, but teaches us our role, our true role in present-day society. We want to know what to do to live from day to day. How do we get through this madness, you see? And so this is not what we're learning. We're not learning. Our children are not learning this, and I know I never learned this in school, and I know nobody ever here ever learned the things to survive that they learned to survive in school. You know, when the pacifiers, I call them sugar tip poverty programs. I mean, like I told them down there, those poverty programs, in a way, are doing the black people just what that treaty did for that Indian. You know, that poverty program, they got us hearing watch. They're gonna give you that poverty program, make you think you're making a whole lot of money, you're getting a whole lot of something. And what they're really doing, they're giving you just enough, so you gotta live in the ghetto, that pig still gotta run over you, if he wrap you in jail, you still don't have no money to get no lawyer.
Actually, we're nothing but people from the community, you know. We, most of us was raised and born here, if not here, in some other ghetto over America, you know. So, like, it is not new to us, and we would like for the people not to feel that we are outsiders, you know, because really we're a part of you, you know. We're that part of you that say we're ready to lay down our lives so that you can get something to work off on, you know, so that you can get a little educational tip from it and get off on the right foot towards regaining your manhood, regaining your humanity, and capturing that thing called freedom.
You know, because I know that the Panthers are getting that thing together. They're trying to get the black people together. And, you know, and I don't want to be labeled as one of those school guys that, you know, I kind of rather have the pig after me a little bit than the black people when they get ready for this thing to happen.
The community is, you know, the community is ready, basically. You know, it's there's those that will say and those that won't say, you know. But like, even the Panther Party can learn from the community. You know, this is one thing that we always keep in mind ourselves. We do not try to get an ego thing where we have it all, you see, because the community is basically what is happening. Our whole program and platform was drawn up out of the community, by the community. So this is all I got to say, and if anyone else had anything else to say? Well, all right. All power to the people, black power to black people, Panther power to the vanguard, and thank you.
Another thing is that when you go into a store in a ghetto neighborhood, like, you know, you go inside and on the counter are all these sweets and candies, and they don't have a lot of nutritional value, but the man knows that, you know, like, little kids like that. That's why, you know, you have so many little kids with anemia, and it's bad because, like, when the kids go to school, like, because they're sick and anemic, you know, they can't learn, like, you know, you can't pay attention in school if you're sick, and you can't go to school, you know, if you're ill, you know, you have to be home. And this is the reason, you know, that we're doing the anemia test. Like, in medical school, doctors are taught two standards for people. Like, they're told that, you know, anemia in a white person is 42, anything, you know, anything above 42, they're not anemic. But in the, you know, ghetto neighborhood, it's 35. So you can see that, you know, like, there's a double standard of medicine. We also have a rap about, you know, about guns, weapons control, because, you know, that in the ghetto area, there are large numbers of injuries from guns, and these are because, like, a lot of times people don't know how to take care of the guns. And another thing they don't understand is that, you know, like, they take out their aggression, the aggression they should be feeling towards a capitalistic system or the man out in the street, the policeman out in the street. They take out on themselves, you know. So, like, you know how it is on Friday and Saturday nights. Black people are constantly killing each other.
The fact that so many people are anemic is a disease of the poor, caused directly by capitalism and perpetuated purposely by capitalism to keep oppressed people weak and keep them, just like the point is to keep them unintelligent so that they will not struggle against the oppressor. This is what it shows in the community. You can go through any community in America and find rampant disease that should have been cured. Our death rate in the United States, our life expectancy rate is 22nd in the world. Infant mortality rate, that is number of babies that die at childbirth, is 17th in the world, and the other countries, the ones that are above us, are primarily socialist countries. And that's because in socialist countries, the emphasis is on sharing medicine and preventing disease among the people, rather than a bunch of people called doctors in a class situation dealing out medicine for profit.
It seems, though, then, that from what you're saying, that the medical profession is an additive to the oppressive forces.
Right? They are part of the ruling class. They have bourgeois attitudes. Their whole expectation is to raise themselves, you know, to the highest possible economic position. And this they do as a group, you know, with a lot of individual exceptions. But their usual attitude is that of a self-righteous group of people who bars the vast majority of people from gaining entrance to their elite group so that they can continue to have a monopoly over the service that they hold. And they invariably take the part of the ruling class in every struggle. Whenever there's an insurgency and some of the people involved in the insurgencies are wounded, they're taken to a hospital and immediately those wounded people are used against the rest of the insurgency in any way that the police can possibly do it, and the doctors go right along with it, whether it's in the interest of the patient or not, you see. In industrial medicine, when a company hires a doctor to treat the illnesses and the injuries of people in a factory, that doctor is there working on behalf of the administration and the executives of that company and not the people. There are dozens of examples that you can cite of people being gotten back to work fastest. It's the same philosophy with the doctors in the Army. The whole philosophy is to get the person back in lineup faster, and preventing disease is only done in as much as it's profitable for the Army, profitable for the whole society. And taking care of people's needs is way down on the list of priorities. What's important is to take care of the needs of the bosses, and that's where American medicine is at, because it's based on working for a fee, and the people that always have the money are the people that are the bosses. So it goes right
back to the same old problem of, you know, profit. The profit motive is always involved.
Capitalism is the disease of mankind that allows 5% of all the people to control 95% of all the wealth. Imperialism is the cancer of capitalism that spreads and destroys whole countries and whole nations of people. Greed is the purpose. Racism is the excuse. It's now time to see through that trick bag and smoke screen of racism that has been used to divide and conquer the people of the world. It's time to see that racism is a tool used by the pigs of the power structure to oppress and exploit the black people and the white people in Babylon in particular and the world in general. To say that race and racism is the primary contradiction between the slave and the slave master, the oppressed and the oppressor, the colonized and the colonizer, is to be one-sided and subjective in your analysis. The logical extension of this one-sided analysis would be if racism was eliminated, all the oppression of man by man would immediately cease. And that's bullshit.
Youth that will build the community, the very men that will grow up to provide for this community, to protect this community. And I think it's very, very significant to understand what it means when men like Bobby Hutton are murdered in the streets, calculatedly, deliberately, by the police force with the condoning of the society. Bobby Hutton was 17 years old. He was a Black Panther. He'd been a Black Panther. He was one of the original founders of the Black Panther Party. During this shootout, which was the result of a trap triggered by the Oakland Police Department against the Black Panther Party, 2 rookie cops sent out to pinpoint a group of Panthers in a given neighborhood, a neighborhood which was saturated with police who quickly converged on the scene with machine guns, floodlights, and tear gas grenades. In a matter of minutes, people were trapped in a particular house that was bombarded for 2 hours by machine guns set up in houses neighboring around the street. It was tear gas, tear gas, tear gas, tear gas, to the extent that I went in this house at 6 p.m. the following day, and the tear gas was so heavy I couldn't stay inside. I had to leave. The basement of the house where the Black Panthers were trapped looked like a bombed-out cellar. After tear gassing and machine gunning this house for over an hour, and no one coming out to set the house on fire. And this is the only thing that brought the brothers out to surrender. My husband was lying inside, wounded, thinking he was dead any minute, unable to walk, naked. And Bobby Hutton came out after all of this into a glare of floodlights, and he couldn't see anything. He could hardly knew what was going on. When they called out to say that they'd surrender, cops converged on them. As a standard police trick was used, they told Bobby Hutton to run to a squad car, and he ran after he'd surrendered, and it was clear that he wasn't armed, that he was giving up, and a volley of shotgun bullets just felled him right down on the street. His body fell in front of the house next door on the street. Fire engines came by quickly afterwards and wiped the blood up in the streets.
9 feet from where he was shot.
9 feet from where he was shot.
9 to 14 times with automatic rifle. Shotgun fire.
This is a clear-cut case of murder.
I do think the white community ought to know what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I'm not gonna ask you, I'm gonna tell you. A little friend of mine that was very dear to most of the Panthers, little Bobby Hutton, a 17-year-old man, was killed in front of my eyes. I'm not going to talk about the bullet I got in me because I'm here. He's not. But the cause that he died for is going to live on in me. And when I die, it's going to live on in my brothers. There's going to be justice in this country. There ain't going to be no country to have none in.
We recommend the
hand piece, I mean.
right hand piece,
Yeah.
38 special,
Yeah.
the 45 caliber, 9mm Astra, 9mm Brown and Otto, and the 9mm P38.
What's the rationale behind, which is better?
See, here within the state of New York, pigs carry 38s. 38 special.
Yeah, right on. Yeah.
So you have to always keep this in mind. See, the mercenaries, they deal with 45.
Right.
But see, it changes in different localities. Say in the state of California, the Magnum is the normal handpiece that they carry, the 357 mag and the 41 mag. These are really they're offensive and defensive weapons. The mag, 57 and the 41 mag. They're offensive or defensive weapons with maximum effective range of approximately 300 yards.
Yeah.
So you can move offensively or defensively with the mag handpiece. You have the FN assault. It fires 30 off 6. You see. So actually, this is one of the standard. This is one of the standard pieces. The alt 6 is. You know it's good because that's what the pigs use to do all the assassinating with. So it must be uptight.
In this room, on this bed, Fred Hampton, the chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, was murdered. Chicago police in a dawn attack killed him and Panther Mark Clark, while 4 others were lined against the wall and shot. The police said that they were attacked. However, indictments placed against the Panthers were later dropped. The police were not charged with premeditated murder, as they should have been. Other cities followed their example, and Panther officers were attacked throughout the country. Since the party's beginning, there have been 28 Panthers murdered, and over 300 are still awaiting a fair trial.
Even though we have, say we have this whole breakdown, see, we control all of this. See, this doesn't control us. And plus the fact we have a reason to use whatever we have because, see, we're trying to set up political power. See, and we're not dealing from the mentality of mercenaries, killing without a reason, without a just cause. We're killing for a reason, whenever we have to. So we don't let the gun control us. We control the gun. We control all of this.
Can we get that light off back there?
persons, clear the building. Snipers, throw out your rifle and surrender. Sniper, throw out your rifle and surrender.
An attack that left at least 60 officers injured. 68 demonstrators and bystanders were injured in that same episode. One has died, another is blinded. Some people feel the price is too high, and the group now opposing law enforcement presence and tactics includes many who feel that the initial confrontation was indeed purposely engineered by hardcore militants and leftists. They now feel, though, that the authorities have played into the hands of those who want violence and revolution.
I intend to make it perfectly clear to the citizens of California that such revolutionary actions as have been occurring are not, and I repeat, not, simply the acts of youngsters sowing their wild oats or seriously and legitimately questioning our society and its values.
Those, he said, were bent on destruction be dealt with firmly, swiftly, and with the justice they deserve.
The mass media doesn't allow a clear picture of what goes on in America. The art of deception is mastered in a fascist society as it is nowhere else in the history of mankind. And I think that the manifestations that we see here are definitely fascist. You have long speeches about law and order by the same punks, the same sissies and cowards that send bombers 9,000 miles to drop 1,000-pound bombs on Vietnamese villages. Then they turn right around and give a speech that relates to how they are against violence, and it's really a bad thing to see that some people are throwing rocks at some of these crazy pigs that have been harassing and beating the people. So it's very hard to see the truth unless you just happen to be a very close part of the people that's been getting this repression from these crazy pigs. People have to come to understand that revolution is not a game, especially people in the mother country, the progressive elements in the white community. The pigs have shown that they'll be as blatant, as fascist, as they'll play a game that says no holds barred as possible. And they play to win, they play to kill. I think it was made clear by Malcolm X that a revolutionary has nothing to hope for except imprisonment, death, or exile. A very key thing that this lesson is learned, especially in the white community, because they still think that they have a special license because their skins are white, and that therefore the pigs won't treat them quite as badly as they will black people. But the fact is that the only reason that the pigs do not treat them as badly as they do black people, that the pigs don't murder them as quickly, is that they are not resisting as hard as black people are. And that once people grasp the clear knowledge that it is right to rebel and that a revolutionary is a good thing to be, the pigs can only answer with massive doses of repression. And then repression gets to be the order of the day. It's like there's no alternative to the repression for the pigs. And with the bullshit that's been going on in this country, there's no alternative for the people except revolution. I think the future tactics will be that as long as they use a constitutional brand of repression and do shit for a few years and then pass laws to legitimatize it, that there will still be some struggles in the court. But when it becomes obvious to the people that these courts can no longer be used for any meaningful gains at all, then I think the whole thing will take place in the streets. That will be the end of constitutional fascism and the first evolution of outright blatant fascism.
You worry about liberty because you've been denied. Well, I think that you're mistaken, or then you must have lied. 'Cause you do not act like those who care. You've never even fought for the liberty that you claim to lack. Or have you never fought to seize the time? The time is now. Oh, seize the time, and you know how.
No, but like we can rap about it if you want to, but I think it's right there just to be seen. You know, if anybody's got the... Yeah.
That flick, if we use it as an educational tool, shows us the work that we have to do. Because we have to prepare the people for this because we know it's coming. And we cannot allow these pigs to walk into this community the way they did with those fools with the peace signs and let the people not know what it's all about. So we've got to prepare the people so that when the pigs come in with their tools of oppression, the people have their tools of liberation. And they're prepared to meet them on their own grounds. And what was that elder said? Open up our own front right here in Dallas. Because that's where the fight is.
Get up and fight. Come on, man. What is... Come on. Come on. Stand up. Come on. Let's go. Look at the kid. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to put you down right now. Right here with a left hook. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Come on, man. Come on. Watch this. Watch it. Watch my face. Ooh. Come on. You want to... Get up. Come on. Look at that, man. You don't have that right yet. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Get up. Get up. Come on. Stop. Come on. Swing it. Come on. Huh? Said you were tired because I had you down, right? Well, I got you again. Now say you're tired. I'm not going to let you up.
I got you.
You got me. I got you. Don't tell me. I got you. You getting beat up. That's what you get. What? So? What do you mean so? You don't want to get beat up. What? Wait. Ho. I'm not ready yet. Oh. Oh. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. You got it. Come on. Wait a minute. I got something. Hold on. I gotta clean the rifle, okay? Yeah. Right on.